Hey, ladies and gentlemen. We are live, and we are a quarter of a way through our challenge. That's 25 days out of 100. Can you believe that? 25 days have gone by, and it's just been incredible. And here we are, we're back today. I'm going to be working on my project. I've got a few exciting things that I want to do. We're just going to jump straight into that and see where it takes us. So the first thing that I want to do, some order of business, is we seriously need to clean up this section. Like, it's just awful. I think that needs to happen with absolute haste. Let's see how we can clean this up for ourselves. How do we clean this up? I'm just still staring at this and I'm just like... Fun times. I think the first thing we need to do is get all these variables out. And I think that's going to have more of a performance boost for us. I just realized now. Reason being is if we call our function and so every time we call our function, we assigning these variables. That's actually, that hurts our performance. Even though it's negligible and we probably won't notice it, that's still kind of bad. Every time we hit that format button, we're populating these variables. So there's two benefits to getting these variables out of here. One, it's gonna just look way neater. And two, the variables get populated once. But then there's a downside to this yet again, because what happens if you... We can test this. We can test my little theory here. We're going to put the constant outside of it. So that's going to be input day, right? Now watch this. The day is going to be 34 and whatever random stuff. Format. Day is undefined, even though it's right there. And the reason for that is it only loaded the moment the page was loaded, if that makes sense. So we actually need that information. The other test that I was going to do is be like, even if it's somehow log 23 and I change that to something else, it wouldn't see the change because it's got the old value. So actually no, the variables have to stay inside of the function. Hey Koof, how's it going? Good to have you here. Question for you. Do you think that I should have another function that populates the variables? Like, how would you deal with this? Because on one hand, half our function is basically assigning variables. What can I really do? I need these variables, you know? You know what I'm thinking? A lot of these get element by ID and dot value, we're repeating, right? We should make a custom little function where we can make this shorter. There will always be a lot of variables with vanilla JavaScript. Well, what's the alternative? If we're not using vanilla JavaScript, how will there be less? React. Really? How does React handle it differently? I think I'm onto something. What if we had an array that housed all of the values for these variables, and then we assign them when the function gets called? You don't document that. Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. I'm talking about variables. You said there would be less variables. How will there be less variables? I could just write a function now, and I can make this much quicker. I can literally take this entire thing, call the function f, literally f, give it literally just the class, and there you go, problem solved. In fact, that is what I'm gonna do. So function, we're gonna call it get user value, right? And we're gonna take in the, we're gonna reuse element ID, and then that's all we're gonna do. It's gonna be document.getElementById, check. So we're gonna shorten all of this super simple, just like that. And then we return document.getElementById, elementId.value. How cool is that? So then instead of doing all of this, we literally just do get user value. So in here, check, user date becomes get user value, input date. How short is that? Like, how nice is that? Look at that. Let's put it next to something so you can actually see the difference. Look at that. That versus all of that. So that's a bit of refactoring right there, huh? Well, yeah, then you should do it. The less variables, the better. It won't be quicker as you're adding another level of instruction. That's basically the same thing. Yeah, it is the same thing. It's just shorter. Our code looks just a little bit neater, and we don't have to repeat document.getElementById each time, doesn't it? So now we can just get user value. Input data, get user value, etc., etc. What do you think? It's still the same variables. Yeah, well, I don't see how you'd get around that, do you? Do you think this is a bit better, what I'm doing? What do you think? You're calling a function that calls what you were calling. You're calling a function that calls... Yeah, I know. We just made it easier to read for ourselves. It's an extra step. We're calling a function, but I mean the execution time should be like super quick now. It just looks better to read. You don't see this massive line of document get element by ID. You just get user value, and there the function is very clear. It's return document.get element by ID, element ID.value. Just because it has less text is slow to execute. Are we actually even going to notice that speed? Because if we're talking like milliseconds, you going to ever notice that? So how would we handle that then? But performance-wise, I don't think you'll ever notice that. Yeah, I don't think we'll notice it either. And it does look better. So if it looks better for us, then I'm all for that, you know? Now we have user title, which is document get elements by class name. Input link title, input link. You know what I'm thinking, guys? Here, URL title is document get elements by class. This gives us a HTML object. Then here, we're converting that HTML object to an array. Why don't we just do... I think this should be the same. Array.from that. Then we make a direct array without having to have 4 variables. We cut down to 2 variables. So then we're working with an array immediately. You know what I mean? So then we can cut out URL title array, user URL array, and then we just have to update URL title array to that, and user URL array becomes that. That's a good optimization, yeah. Let's just hope it works. Console.log. I want to see what user URL title is, and I want to see what user URL is. So let's go. When I click format, right? We get that and we get that, and it's an array. Perfect, both of them are arrays. Let's add another one. Perfect. Array, yep, both of them are arrays. Log, right, when am I gonna get that into my head? Ah! Before any one of you leave, just let me know, because I do want to show you guys something really cool. But I just want to wait for the rest of the gang to get here so I can show you guys all at once instead of like repeating myself. It's something really cool I've been working on. What do we think about my variable names? User progress, user hours. I was thinking I could rename them to progress, but I'm worried it might be a bit vague. I want this to be specific that it's a user's input. So user progress, user hours, user minutes, user thoughts, you know what I mean? These all correspond to the input fields. Thanks, Helenius, I appreciate that. I don't like title test. I don't know what to call it. I do not like that. We need to rename title test. Why not you instead of user? I thought we don't care how long a variable name is if it's descriptive enough. Well, we know that you is user, you progress. You progress, you hours, you minutes. 3 characters saved, even though we do have auto completion. Is it worth it? Let's see what other optimizations we can make. No, it's not worth it apparently. Okay. Okay, what do we call title test? What does title test do? Title test basically gives you the entire user's link in a formatted way. So it will give us the title and the URL all in one. I think that should be user link. We've got user URL title, we've got user URL. It's better to have a 40 long variable that explains it perfect than a 1 character long one, yeah. So title test, why can't I F2? Oh, now I can F2 this, that was weird, I couldn't yesterday. Let title test be user link. Is that good? So we have one called user URL title. That is the link's title. We have user URL, which is the URL of that link. Now, what do we call the combination of both? Should we just call it user link? Because it's like, it's a combination of both. It's got the title and the URL. Do we just call it user link? I don't want to be too confusing with user URL title. We are saying URL. User URL title. What do we call the combination of the title and the URL? User product. But that doesn't sound anything like similar to me, at least. What is the function of the data? The function of the data displays... Yeah, let me show you directly. It gives you link to work, title, and the URL. So if the title was Google and the link was www.google.com and you clicked format, you would get the title with the link. So it becomes Google, which is clickable after the markup. It's a combination of 2 and its purpose is what should be named. Yeah, it's link to work. Should we just call it like link to work? User works? Because I get what you mean by product, but product's a bit nondescript. It's a bit vague. But in the document you're making, the days of code might call that something. They do call it links to work. That's what they call it. Link to work. It's a link to all of your work that you've been doing for that day. The user doesn't see this. This is obviously just for us. But obviously, anything's better than title test. Because at that moment, I couldn't think of a good name. And I was testing it first to see if it worked. I just want to change link to work. I think we should still have user in there, huh? User work reference. It's a bit better. Okay, I'm happy with that. We have an issue. I gotta figure out the issue. I made a little note here. But basically, I discovered it last night. If you have a title there, but the URL is empty, you click format, it doesn't display anything. Wait, that's fine. Oh, it was this. So that's fine, that displays nicely. When you add another link and you go format, it becomes 1. The reason for that is it's counting the arrays. This is one array. Even if this is empty, it's counting the fact that it exists. So we have 2 arrays right now. And our logic in the code is if the array length is greater than 1, increment num links. And I said that we need to actually check if there's actually values in there, which is the issue. So maybe we could do user title. Thing is, we need to check the length, but we also need to check if the value is not empty. It needs to be more than 1, the length of the array, but also the value in at least one of them, well, at least 2 of them needs to be non-blank. It's because the default is not generated? What do you mean by that? If you don't add another link, it's not doing the array stuff. If you don't add another link, it's not doing the array stuff. I'm sorry, I still lost you. I always get scared when I see all those red squigglies. Are you scared? I don't want to turn it off. It's basically a reminder that our code complexity is too high. It's nothing to base off of, but I mean, it's 6 right now. Needs to get under 5. We'll get it there. We just need to optimize this. That's what we're doing right now. I wrote a function to get the values in a neater way. So we got that at least. Maybe drop the numbering. I can't drop the numbering. That's part of the markdown for Git. You need to label them 1, 2, 3, etc. The ordering. It needs to be in that order. Add the numbering if you have just 1. That's what I'm supposed to do. If both arrays have a value of greater than 1, meaning if there's 2 items in them, the issue comes from the fact that we store these things, the classes, the entire thing, we store them in an array. We don't store the values in an array. So of course there's 2 link sections, therefore there's 2 arrays. But the problem with that is then it starts numbering them, even though it's empty. So like I said, I have to somehow do a test where I check the array length and I check that the values inside those arrays are not empty. So I don't see if there's an easy way to do that. So we're checking the length right now. Is it greater than 1? Yes. You need to... I've already done that, Koof. It is on both. This is a combination. This is a condition. Both arrays must be greater than 1. Yeah, it's okay. It's probably easy to see through all the red, I guess. So the issue is we have 2 arrays. This is one array. This is the second array. There are 2 arrays. The problem is this one's empty. Now we've handled the empty case in a simple way. Where did we handle the empty case? Oh, I said if the array element is value, if both of their values are not empty, then we increment numLengths by 1. And then we do the other stuff. So change the first array to add a number. What do you mean? What first array? Where do you do the handling for the first array? Right here. If array element, so that's the passed on array, its value, and the user URL's value is not equal to blank, then we can proceed. Yeah, what about it? What do you want me to add there? Change the first array to add a number. What do you mean to add a number? Oh, you mean you think numLengths is the issue? Do I just move numLengths? I think numLengths needs to be out. I think numLengths needs to be here. For every item in the array that is not blank, numLengths gets incremented by 1. Then we literally don't need to check the length of the array. We just go if numLengths greater than 1. We can literally just do this. If numLengths greater than 1, add the number of lengths. Else, just print the array. I think we can literally just do that. I just want to... log. Log numLengths. Let's see if that works. So, format gives us 1 link. That's correct. We have 1 link. But if we add another link, it should still just be 1. We just get 1. Although it's... yeah, it's logging every time I'm clicking. And then if I add a title, it's still just 1. If I add a URL, oh boy, then we got 2 links. There we go. We solved it. Except, why is it not adding a 1 there? Why you not add 1 there? What is our logic? If numLengths is greater than 1, line 52 is not adding a number to to the text. Line 52 is not adding a number. Yeah, it mustn't add a number. That's the point. If numlinks is greater than 1, we're adding numbers. Else, we're not adding numbers. It's a single link. We don't want numbers. That's fine. 1 is not greater than 1. No, but that's fine too. Oh, because the first one... That's what skips it. But how do I do it? Where if there's only a single link, it must only print this line. So this should probably be the first condition, right? Hey Virani, I only want a number if there's more than one link. If there's only a single link, why are we logging a number? We don't need a number then. Does that make sense? So we're working on the project. We are. Now I just need Christophorus here and I can show you guys something exciting. We can only hope Christophorus is lurking somewhere nearby. Ternary in the template literal. Oh, so I can replace the if. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Okay, but hold on. Before we even do a ternary, it's still not working. Okay, let me explain the issue. When we have a single link, okay, it shouldn't say links to work. It shouldn't have a number. It will look like this. Link to work. Single link. Perfect. The issue now is when we add another link, it's links to work. That's correct. It's putting them underneath each other. That's correct. But we're missing the first number. The reason for that is, like someone pointed out, numlinks is not greater than 1, because 1 is not greater than 1, because we keep incrementing numlinks by 1 each pass through of the for loop. But if there's more than one numlink, I need it to have that first number. So, yeah. I like that Fallout icon. Love Vault Boy. Nicely done, Virani. Someone go get Christophorus so we can start this party on the road. So do you guys have an idea on how I can solve this? I'm a little bit stuck right now. You didn't understand this. Put another ternary inside the template riddle so it will the condition add 1 don't. Put another ternary inside the template literal. On which line? 50 or 52? Can you actually do that? We're going to find out. 52, but why do I want to add a number there? Oh. Put another ternary inside the template literal so it will have add 1. But how is that any different to the condition here? What would the condition be? Here's how it happens. Okay, pass 1, numlinks equal to 1. Here's the first pass. We get in here, hey, numlinks, are you greater than 1? No, you're not. So I'm just going to print this out. Cool. Pass 2. Numlinks is now at 2. Hey, numlinks, are you greater than 1? Yeah, you are. So here you go. You now get a number. Do you see where the issue is? So I don't understand the conditional. You have an empty array on numlinks? What do you mean an empty array? Numlinks isn't even an array. So we need to rethink our logic here. We need to know how many links there are in the array that aren't empty. And numlinks does that. The problem is the first time it's going to be 1. Second time it might be 2. So there's the issue. So this is our for loop. For every element in the array, if the values for both arrays are not blank, we can proceed. Guys, what happens if, it's not gonna, if I end the if statement and I just have numlinks in that if statement, will the for loop run through all of that and then move on to the next if, or will it do it 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1? Put the numlinks after the if statement. How's that gonna help? It's still gonna miss the first one if there's multiple. What's numlink M? I think your entire text tonight's a typo because none of it's making sense. If I put it after the if statement, you're still going to have the same issue because the next time it comes around, 1 is not greater than 1. So you're still going to miss that. Either way, if there's 2 links, the first link is going to not have a number. Okay, so let's say I do that, right? I put it after the if statement here. It's going to get in here. Numlinks is not going to be greater than 1 because numlinks is 0. So the first link, if there's multiple links, is going to be without a number. The second link is going to be with a number, and so on and so on. We're still going to have the same issue regardless if numlinks is there or there. Run it. Okay. Should be fine. So we don't get anything. Cool. Do you see? The first one doesn't have a number. Now the second one doesn't have a number either. It's probably only going to be on the third one that we start getting a number. Yep. So no, that is not a solution. That does not work, unfortunately. It's even worse than what it was before. So no one here who has ideas for me. We can do this, guys. So how about... I'm listening. Be patient. So how about be patient? I mean, it doesn't render, it just renders one large user work reference, right? It does render, that's what the text you see. So first, why is it not printing the number? Why is it not printing the number? Because of the if statement. Numlinks is not greater than 1. Numlink starts at 0. 0 is not greater than 1. Then it comes 1. 1 is not greater than 1, etc, etc. Yeah, as Virani said. But we just append it. We need to reorder this whole thing to get a number, but we just append it. So there's one way I can do it, just seems a bit overkill, is I create another for loop and I check that each value in the array, if there's at least 2 array items that are both not empty, then we can increment numlinks. It just seems a bit excessive, but that is one way that I think I can solve it. What is user work reference? That is the entire string for every single link that the user has put in. So how did you test if there's more than one link? How do I test? Because in the very beginning, for each, I check both arrays, and at the index of each array, at the first index, I check both values. Are they not empty? That's how I know if it's a link. Alright, I think I'm starting to understand what's happening here. Cool. No, it can't be user URI title.length. The reason for that is the length is the array and it's going to count how many boxes there are, even if that box is empty. So if we have 2 boxes like now, it's going to be 2, even though there's only 1 with data inside of it. It cares about the boxes, not the data inside. The arrays are of the items, not of the contents. Exactly. That's a good thing. But it doesn't care about the data, you realize that, right? We can try it and see. Numlink should be user URL title.length. So outside of the loop. If it doesn't care about the data, before, what it would do is it would pick up all the boxes and it would start labeling 1, 2, 3, even though these boxes are empty. Because you should be able to skip this box, go to the next box, and then it's only 2, even though there's 3 boxes. But I'll test this and see. So numlinks is going to be user URL title.length. And then we're not incrementing numlinks anymore, yeah? Okay, so now if we run this, we get link to work. Great. If we add another link, we now get links to work with a 2 there. Do you see why this doesn't work? Because there are 2 items in the array. It's going to assume there's 2 and it's going to append the number 2, which is incorrect. You see where the issue now is, Koof? Nope. Like I said, the arrays are housing these elements that are visible regardless of content inside of them. This is an array. This is an array. 1, 2. It's going to print the amount of arrays, because that's what .length does. That's why there's a 2 there. And the reason we need that is so that we can add and remove the sections. So yeah, I might have to go with the solution that I had in mind. Unless someone has an actual idea that's going to work. Christopherus! Hey! Finally, you're here! Yay! Christopherus, do you have a solution? We have a variable numLength that starts at 0. And then our for loop condition is as long as both arrays at the given index, their values are both not blank, we increment numLength by 1. So numLength starts at 1. Then we have a condition. If numLength is greater than 1, we can display the list of lengths 1, 2, 3 ordered in that order. Else, we're only going to display the link by itself. The issue with this is it works. As you can see here, we get link to work. If I add another link and there's no content, nothing happens. But the moment we format and there's 2 links, it skips the first one because the first condition was never met. 1 is not greater than 1. But the following ones will be 2, 3, etc.
Abhizak is following the family.
Abhizak, welcome. So good to have you. New people, yay! So my idea was to have another loop and we check the array, the amount of contents, and if there are at least more than one of them. Go back to the code for a moment, please. Okay, you guys have wasted like half of my time now. Like half an hour. Thanks, guys. Jeez, this back and forth. You guys, it's usually me wasting time. Are you guys trolling me today? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a for loop, okay? We're gonna do for j equal to 0. If you guys have a better way, I will try it, but I want to actually get to a solution now. J less than we're going to take one of the arrays. So array element wait, we're already looping through each array. Wait, we're already looping through each array. Yeah, I said you need to have to render all the user ref completely each time. The loop you have now would build what you would go into the render. The thing is, that defeats the purpose of having a string literal, where you want it incremented each time so we can just print it out once, you know what I mean? Then that would leave this completely pointless, but hold on. We're looping through every element in the array already. I don't need another for loop, so that means all we need is another if. And we need a counter. So we're already checking if it's a non-value. Guys, do you know that? Oh, that's why I need another for loop, because it's only going to run the if once. Okay, gonna need a for loop. J less than one of the arrays. Should we take user URL title dot length J plus plus. Now we're gonna loop through each one, and now we're checking. Hey, we need to check each array. User URL title J. We're gonna do if User URL title J. We're gonna do a double comparison here, and we're gonna need to refactor this, but I think this is the solution. Not equal to blank. Numlinks plus equal to 1. Then we'll know how many links before we even got there. And I think this should work now. So format, we get a link, add another link, format. Oh, there's 2. That's the problem. Wait, but you're supposed to check for non-values. User title J and user URL J. But the second... Oh, I didn't do dot value. Silly me. I need dot value. There you go. Format, we get 1, add another link, we get nothing, add one title with nothing else, we get nothing, add a title with it. Oh, but now we get 2 and 4, why? Am I still incrementing numlinks in the old code? Oh, it's for each one in the loop. Oh. Your current array could build the array as it is basically, right? And then a for loop after the for each to build the user work reference. Because we're already checking this, aren't we? Up here. We're already checking if it's not blank. But then why couldn't we stick... Oh, we should have a for each afterwards. So I should stick numlinks up there, right? Numlink should be here, and we should close the if, right? So close that if. And then we do a for loop here. Numlink stays there. What would your suggestion be? Does anyone know what Hello Near this is trying to do? Does someone understand it? Because what I can do is... Virani, you're on PC, right? I'm going to stick this in a code pen, because you seem to have an idea as well. Let me just stick this in code pen, it'll be easier. Then you just show me what you want it to do. I think that'll be easier. So here's a code pen, and then just send it back to me, because I think trying to communicate now at this complex level is going to be a bit harder to do. We don't need any of this, thankfully. We refactored that really nicely. date. I can probably refactor this. And take date month, can be convert month, date full dot get month. That should work inside the template literal, right? Convert month, we call the function date full dot get month, and then date can be date full dot get date, and date day is convert day date full dot get day. So if that works, then I can get rid of 3 variables. April 25, Thursday. Perfect. That works. So we don't need those variables. The only thing we need is user day and date. We don't need date day. Sorry, date at all. So we can get rid of that. We don't need date month. We can get rid of that. And we don't need date day, from what I remember. So we save 3 variables. We only need the user's date and then the date full, which is new date, user date. And do we even need date full? Because we do call it 3 times. I could technically go new date, user date. Oh, because you need a new date from the user's date. What does user date give us though? We get 290425. So why can't we take that directly and get the month from it? Do you guys know if that will change based on the format of the picker? Currently it's in year, month, day format. You think I could run into any issues? User date.getMonth. Oh, you can only call it on a date object. That's why I needed it as an object. So we need a new date from user. Okay, so we're gonna need date full. Virani, did you do one, or are you still working on it? I can get rid of these. Should I try it out now? The thing that you sent me? Boop, boop, boop. Try this. This doesn't bold what we need though, not the full text, but I see what's going on. That could work. Why does it come up as undefined though? Just add one more mock element. Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. What? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that works. That's pretty much the way I need it. Okay, yeah, nicely done. That works. Nice. So let's try to bold that into what we have. You're still using numlinks? Or did you just leave that there? I don't think you are using numlinks, are you? Oh, you are using numlinks. Are you incrementing numlinks somewhere? You have numlinks user URL title.length. Oh, okay. So many options! But if you say Koofs is a better solution, then I'll go with that. We can always refactor. It's all of us together. Okay, user URL title dot for each array element index. Cool, you left that the same. You left the values and that the same, so we don't need those. You add increment plus plus. So we can't use numlinks, huh? So increment plus equal to 1. Then you're doing Get rid of the for loop that I have. And then we just have a simple if numlinks equal to 1. Oh, you switched them around. User worker reference, is it the same as yours? Array element.value, URL, index, yeah, that's exactly the same. Else, oh, you switch it to increment now. What a monstrosity, eh? And then we can get rid of this thing. I'm not sure if it even works. Can we have a look at it just out of sheer curiosity? Wow, you built it, you should have tested it, right? Only problem is we're still getting a 1 in there. That's weird. Still adding a... Did I mess something up? I think I messed something up, didn't I? If numlinks. It wasn't numlinks you were checking. Oh, no, you were checking numlinks. If numlinks equal to 1, we are checking. So for each, we got that. If array element.value and user URL index.value not equal to blank, brackets, increment plus equal to 1. And then you got an if that opens up, numlinks equal to 1, user worker reference plus equal to array element.value. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Else, user worker reference increment dot. It's exactly the same. Yeah, it must be something else. I definitely didn't miss anything. Hold on. I remember the one that you sent, Koof, numlinks, you initialized it to user URL title.length. That's why numlinks doesn't get set to 0. So it wasn't in the loop that I missed, it was the initialization. There. So that gives us link to work. Cool, great. Add another link. Nope, that's wrong. You keep playing with the length value. Goofy! Remember what I told you. Every time you add a new link, it counts these as 1, 2. And if I add another link, it will do nothing then. But remember, it's counting them. So how do we solve it? If it's just 1, it's fine. If it's another one, it's 1. There mustn't be a number. Want to look at my solution? Cool. Let me also look at Virani's. Sorry, you all... I did not expect all of you to send me solutions. We need one solution that works in the most efficient way possible. So there's Virani's. And here's your revised one. Hello, near this. So Virani's is contents array, numlinks, user work array used for each array element index, array element dot value and use. Okay, so that's the same as my initial one. I like how none of you changed that. You all agree that's the best way. Numlinks plus plus. Okay, if numlinks is 1, contents array dot push. Okay, so now you're splitting that. I don't like this because you're creating extra work where it could all be done in a single variable. Because now you're looping twice, so that's double the work. Where the previous one we're only doing it once. But if it's the only way, we might have to look at that solution, huh? And now for bread. Let's look at bread's one. Okay, standard array element value not equal to blank. You have a for loop in here. Less than use title dot length. You're now pushing into an array as well. Both of you are using arrays. Is there no way that we can make Koof's one work? The only issue is with that extra addition now. Exactly, so your user URL title is a length of 2. Yeah, exactly, that is what is happening, Koof. Check for the contents of an input. Yeah, I thought that's what we were going to do. I thought that's what Koofy was doing. So I do not see the problem. You don't see the problem? Okay, let me explain it to you. Format? Cool. Everything's great. Add another link. Format, we have a 1 there. There aren't 2 links. There's only 1 link. There are 2 elements, but the items contained within them are empty. They shouldn't count. You need to look at it as values. We care about the values in the elements. The array length that you're calling is looking at the elements directly. It doesn't care if it has values in them or not. Does that make sense now? If it doesn't, I can try explaining it a bit better. Does it make sense? Okay. Yay. If we can just solve this problem, then I can move on to the exciting stuff. And since you're all here, I want to show you what I've been busy with. You can have an additional check for values in those inputs probably. Yeah, that's why I wanted to have that additional for loop, but then something went wrong somewhere.
Dungeoneer 2 is following the family.
I love the Dungeoneer games. Hello Dungeoneer 2. Welcome to the Matrix. It is so good to have you. I wish you people would say hello. I love the follows, but then no one says hello. Hello Dungeoneer 2. No need to be shy, don't worry about the people in the chat. They won't bite. They're pretty friendly for the most part. You got a Swede and you got a Russian, and there's also a German lurking somewhere. Can never quite find him nowadays. I think he's like a little bit down now that his FCC challenges have completed. Or maybe he's just like working on his kata somewhere, huh? Can you do numlinks, user title.filter item? Really? That complicated? I don't even understand it, so of course I can do it. You want me to do user URL title dot filter item. What is item? Item's undefined. What do you want item to be? You want me to do that inside of the loop, don't you? You want me to initialize numlinks to 0. Oh, hold on, it's arrow array. So that's the variable that you're assigning it. Is that it? Let me just double check. User URL title dot filter item arrow function item dot value not equal to blank dot length. Okay, so we're filtering to make sure everything we're passing in is that thing blank. Yeah, struggling with my inefficient code on Code Wars that always times out. Virani! Help your fellow clansman out. You're the only one that's skilled enough. You and Koof and probably Hello Nearthos, and in fact everyone else. I'm not there yet. All the blank inputs should be ignored. He's above me. Of course he's above you, but you know, even the greats struggle sometimes. That's why I struggle all the time. So links to work is fine. Add another one, nothing happens. Add a title. No! It got triggered! Hold on. We can make this work though. Both of them. How do we make it? It needs to be user URL title and user URL. Right now it's only checking for one of them if it's not empty. I need both. Do we like literally do it like this? And do we do it like this? Do like some crazy Pepper Gear stuff? Do we do this? Before you guys start throwing stuff at me. How about that? Yes, no? For these 4 Q cutters, you need an advanced math algorithm skills. Ah, yeah, I don't have that either. Photo is love. Right? Format? We get that. Add another link. Does title work? It doesn't. Does URL work? It does! Oh, we nailed it, boys! Hey, we did it! Thank you, everyone. Even if your solutions weren't quite working in that sense, it taught me something new. And yeah, the filters definitely work. And if you delete, what do you mean? If I delete, yeah, it's store 1. Format, delete, format 1. It's great, but can we refactor it now, guys? Look at this, come on, we have a freaking variable. There's 2 filters inside of it, it scares me. Do we need that outer... bracket? I don't think we do. Can we refactor this somehow? I'll go back to it now, hold on. I just want to make sure I didn't break anything by doing that. Yeah, we're good. Can we refactor this? I'm just scared. It stops working. And this is very dependent on ES6 now, isn't it? That's why I'm gonna need Babel or something afterwards. That's ninja code. How do we give filter... We should be able to have a single filter. Can we do a reduce? What if there's 3 entries and 1's blank? That's not how it works. You can only have 2. You can only have 1 and 2. URL and title both need to be full. It wouldn't make sense that you would have 3. And I already tried with 3 there. Title, URL, title, format. It only does 1, which is how it should be. Is he working in QA? I think so. But I'm also do that though, don't I? I tested that already. That's how I know it works. I tested all of it. I wouldn't say, hey, it's working if it's not working. I take this very seriously. So guys, can we shorten this? Can we refactor this? Can we put an and inside here? Or can we not really? Because it's 2 arrays that we're working with, do you see? Does filter work on every single item in the array? It does, eh? It just returns that array filtered. That's all it does, right? He meant 3 blocks of 2 inputs with 1 set blank. Okay, well it used to work in my old code. So we'll see how that works. So we have that, and then we're gonna add another one. That one's gonna be blank, and we're gonna add another one. It should be 2, because it was for me before. Yeah, it's 2. I think that was my old code logic. Koof didn't change that. I covered that down here. So it's still the same. Doesn't matter where you add it. 10 later. And if you add 1 without the missing, that should be 3. There you go. And this should push it back down now. So the D's should be 4. And the F's will be 3. Format. D's are 4, F's are 3. There you go. Filter returns an array that matches the conditions. Right. And then we were doing .length on that filtered array. Super complex compared to your solution. The problem is it was an extra array that was happening. So you're dealing with 2 arrays, where this is just a comparison, which is much quicker than pushing to an array and then returning that array. Now that we have numlinks, can we refactor this further? Because now we've got the exact count. I don't think we need increment anymore, by the way. Let me just check something. Numlinks gives us what we want. Oh, we need numlinks for the count. Yeah. Yeah, we can use the index. Sorry, that's what I wanted to say. We were using index before. That's exactly, yeah. Smart, Firani. We can use numlinks. If numlinks is 1, numlex. And then all we do is we use else index. That's what we had before. And that should work exactly the same, and then we don't need increment anymore. I think that should work. It's working so far. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Oh, we start at 0. That's fine. We can fix that. Not a problem. Add another one. Add another one. Add F and F. F should be 2. F is 3. Is it doing what I think it's doing? Counting each one now. Yeah, it is counting each one now. And the reason for that is because... But how are you counting each one? Oh, it's index. I had numlinks before. That's why. You can't use index. Because index doesn't care if the value is blank or not. That's why. You need to go through a new filtered array. Where? You know what I just realized? Why didn't we create a filtered array and then we don't need to check if they're empty or not? Right? In fact, will that work though? Or do we actually need the full contents of the array? Because then can't we just add a filter to each of our arrays here to get the non-values? I mean, sorry, the non-blank values? Up here, our original... I'm just thinking, what's the downside to that? What if we actually want to know? Yeah, you're just saying yeah. What do you mean yeah? Is there a downside? Could there be a downside to this? Because then we don't have every single element. We only have non-blank values. No, it's gonna work. I know it's gonna work. The thing is, will there be a downside to it? What if we need to, at some point in time, tell the user, hey, you forgot about this, you know, form validation. This thing's empty. We're gonna need to reference which one is empty. So I don't think we should do that. I think we should have the full list. That's my speculation. It's done. And just based on that simply, that's the reason we should keep it unfolded. HTML5 validation could be applied. Yeah, it's not about that. I will need to do other things that HTML5 validation can't do. So I'd rather have all of them. Tooltips. I need to trigger which one it is and then have a tooltip that can also explain when you hover what that specific element does. And I'm gonna need to know each element, not filtered ones. That's why. Hey, we got this working. So, let's take a quick break. Christopherus, you're still here, right? The gang is here. Because I want to show you guys what I've been working on now. You guys ready? So this was the old design. And I'm sure we can agree that it leaves much to be desired. And there wasn't really any design ideas here, right? I just needed placeholders for my code to work. I wasn't caring about the design. Then last night I picked out a few colors. And today I played around with those colors. It's the best design. I'm going to leave it there. Version 1 for Virani. V1 for Virani. And I did a little sketch. Dark mode is design enough. Right. But I got something better. And I want to share it with you guys. So let me switch over to this little cool app that I suggest that you guys get. I'm in no way sponsored by them. But you guys need to go get yourself a little app called Pencil. It's made on the same framework that Firefox is, the Mozilla Foundation. And it's a really cool free application that allows you to do mockups. And if you guys can see this right now, does this look familiar? This is the old design, right? It looks pretty much the same. Similar. Not the same, but similar, design-wise, right? So, this is how the old design looked. Then, I went and I did a little redesign, taking a bit of style from a material design, and I came up with this. And what do you guys think? Original one? Redesign. 1 and 2. I added the links in their own little boxes. I even added the little X buttons so you can close it so it's more user friendly. Oh, hold on, sorry guys, it switched to the browser. I didn't notice that. So this is the second one. I don't know if you guys saw that at all. My bad. So this is the redesign. And you'll see I've inlined the boxes, so progress is the same length as thoughts as links, and add another link is directly under it. You got a nice big format button in the primary color. You got the output button, which is darker and bigger than the thoughts button, so there's a clear distinction between that's your thoughts input, that's your output. You can have your copy output button there. You've got your little close button over there, which makes it very visible, and it's there, like boom, close it, and it's not directly underneath, so you're not going to accidentally click it. Day and date I have at the top. I've decided to keep hours and minutes separated. I try to have them underneath. Something like this, and then like minutes and that underneath, but it just didn't look that good because it's so small and narrow. So that's the only thing that's bothering me, but I'm happy with day and date, and they perfectly like in line with those two, with the space in between, and everything just flows. Like, I think it looks good. I mean, compared to our original design, right? So would you guys think I made a bit of progress? Don't worry about the text and the colors and stuff. This is just a mock-up, guys. The boxes aren't straight, if you haven't noticed. It's a mock-up wireframe tool. It's something that can help me visualize the design. It's really cool because you can double-click an element. You can set the colors in the background. You see the top right here. You can change the font opacity. You can change the the background opacity as well. So it allows me to like quickly prototype something. Literally everything's just drag and drop. There goes the box. If I want to select elements, I can group them as well. So I can hit Control G and now it's grouped, and now I can move it all around. It snaps to the grid, so if you see those lines, I know when I'm perfectly centered with something. So like, I'm there. I can also hit C. I can combine two elements and hit C, and then it centers it to that element. So it's really cool. Like, check this. For example, the format button, right? I move it there. It's like, oh my god, no! It's not centered. But not a problem, right? I just select the background, select the format button, hit C, and hold on, sorry. There you go. And then it formats it. Isn't that cool? So what are you guys saying? Good apart from the colors. Yeah, this looks good. It's good wireframe. I would have text to the left of the title URL boxes. That's bad design practice. I like spend 2 hours looking at what's best for input fields. You never want them to the left. You always want them above. It makes it easier for the user to read. Maybe like Figma. I dislike making wireframes when I was a PM. What's a PM? When you were a prime minister? When were you a prime minister, Varani? Was this under Putin's regime? So yeah, we need to somehow get this design into the final bit now. Oh, when you're a project manager, right. So I think our code is good. We can refactor that another time. It does what it needs to do right now, which is brilliant. So let's go ahead and get these things working. So firstly, our background needs to be 212121. So easy enough. I even have a little bit of material right up here. I left myself some notes. The background's going to be 212121, and our font color, I mean, we can leave it at the F1. It doesn't have to be pure white. Then what do we need to do? We need to change the background of this to 484848. There's no opacity. That's for our container. So our container is it our container? Yeah, our main. There you go. And then we need, what do we need then? We need to change all our backgrounds for our inputs to be 666 at 85 opacity. I need to figure out how I'm going to do that. I think it's user input. Every single element has input. Oh, it's all input. So let's find input. Do I have just input? I don't know if I do. We can also remove all of this. I refactored this majorly, so that's really nice. Still want to probably do some more refactoring. I got some media queries in to shrink the size, just so that I know what I'm going to work with. I don't think I have input. I don't have input. I have user input. But I don't have input. Oh, there is input, sorry. So, background is going to be 666. 666. Cool, that's good. But then we need to add opacity. So how do I get that color? Oh, hold on. This is neat. Oh, but it doesn't tell me the value. I don't know the value, the opacity value. That sucks. They should really show you. That's 100%. I need 85. I can't guess. That's silly. So I'm gonna need RGBA, I think, right? What is... HLS is another one. But RGBA... How do we... So it's 666, right? 666 at... What opacity did I say? 85. So 0.85. So that should be it. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. Yeah, that's not right. Is there an RGB, wait, hex to RGBA converter? That's what we need. Color fails accessibility? No, it doesn't. I've tested all of this. So we need this at 85 opacity. There it is. So that's our RGB, that's our RGBA. That's what we need, 102. Perfect. Brilliant stuff. And then we need to change the font size because the global font is going to be white. So I guess under input we can also change it to white. Color. Cool. That's better. And what other changes do we need to make? So thought is going to be a bit different. Thought is 666 at 70%. So we need our low converter. This tool is really awesome. I'm going to save that. At 70, did I say 70%? At 70%, yeah. So we're going to get that. We're going to get the RGBA. We're going to go here and thoughts. Input thoughts. The background is going to be this color. What does that leave us with? Cool, that's nice, good stuff. Then to add another link needs to have this background. So to add another link, what is the default box text color? White. FFF, pure white. What is the CSS that we use for add another link? That is button add link. Did I don't think I changed that. Did I? Do I even have a CSS for that? I don't think I do. Oh, that's an ID. I don't have CSS for it. Button add link. Background is gonna be that. Great. Text on it's gonna, was it white? No, it's not white. We're gonna have that text as white. And then we are gonna remove the border. Gonna add some padding to it. Look like a 2 pixel padding should be fine. Oh, did I play around with size? I don't think I want padding. I actually want to set the size directly, so I just want to see what the right width is. Nope, I'm gonna need 140 width. Let's actually just do it in our browser. Maybe not too big. 25 pixels at 160. Maybe 30 pixels at 150. Yeah, 30 and 150 width and height. That should be good. I switched to styling and suddenly all of the chat died? I don't think there's much to say. It's like, I know what I'm doing. And most people won't like CSS, so... You know, we like the code, but this has to be done, guys. And then we want to format our format button. Do I have a style for it? The format? No, I don't. So we need to give it a class. Button format. Button format, and then the background color is going to be our primary dark color, and the color of the text is still going to be white border none. We're just going to have to set the width and stuff on that. 150 and 50 is what I currently have, so let's just see how that goes. We want it nice and big and prominent. Yeah, we want to make the font bigger in there though. So, because it needs to be nice and big. Let's do at least 24 pixels. So font size 24 pixels. There we go, that's a bit better. Please no red on button. Well, too bad! Go style your own one, because it's gonna be red. Because that is our primary color. So add another link, and then the copy output needs to be styled as well. But that's also very similar to our add another link. So but the size is different, so it's gonna be smaller. I wonder how we can reuse it. We could probably have like button dark and then like share their styles or something. Button copy, and then button add link, button format, button copy. The background's gonna stay the same. I just want to check if I changed anything on it. The background's the same, no opacity difference, text is white. The width and the height are going to be slightly different though, we need to just check that out. I kind of like this monster though. I'm glad someone agrees. So this is going to have to be slightly smaller. Maybe 100 pixels by 30. What do I have before? I had 90 and 25. Let's try 90 and 25. 90, 25. No, that doesn't work. Wait, is that font size? What's your font size? Hold on. Oh, come here. Border box. Floating line height of 18.4. Interesting. Fonts, obviously the mockup is very different to CSS, so I guess I can't use absolute values, but 100 works. Actually, I don't even have to add the width. Why am I adding width again? I could just add the height. The width should automatically add, so I think let's skip the width. Except for obviously the format. What about add another link? Do we need the width there? Yeah, we kind of do for that more padding. And we could technically keep it the same. That's 150. But then why isn't it quite the same? Why is it not touching at the edge? Or is it? And it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. Oh no, it is touching on the edge. Okay. So what did I say? No width for copy output. So no width, height only. Maybe we could baby talk to try and explain in patronizingly simple terms when red is a bad UX. I mean, red is to obviously signify that there's an error, but there's no reason why buttons and slight things here and there can't be red. And if we need to change it, we can at the end. But for now, let's not worry too much about that. Let's worry about getting this thing to look similar to the mock-up that I have. So the buttons are styled. I'll add shadows later on and stuff like that. Text on the side is a bad UX. Yes, it is. For forms, because studies have been done that users will read the form and what is required of them easier when the label is directly above it than it is to the side of it, because then the flow is directly down where it's there, 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 there. Oh yeah, so the size of these, that's what we wanted to do. We want these all the same width. And what width did I want? I wanted, what is this? 600 pixels. 600 for progress thoughts. Progress and thoughts are going to be 600 pixels wide. So progress is going to be 600 pixels wide, and thoughts is going to be 600 pixels. Padding, I think the padding is inside. What about studies on the red button doing a good work? I will not talk about the red button. We're not referring to the red button at all. That was purely my choice. You asked about UX styles and the button on the left, and the text on the left, and I said that's a bad UX decision. We're not referring to the button at all. Like I said, the button color can change at the end. I just needed some kind of color to work with. So that and that is perfectly the same size now. Good stuff. These need to shift to the ends. So flex, I think end for these. So if we do align items, just remove all of these align items. Yeah, there's going to be a tricky one, because I'm going to have to figure out on which one I can apply it. We're just rioting a little bit here. That's fine, you guys riot away. Can I do... The problem now is because I've reused this. That's the only downside to this. Because you want flex direction. No wait, not flex direction. My bad. Align items. It's not align items. I always get confused with those. Justify, was it? Content? It's not justify content. Like, I feel like I always go through all of these until I get the right one. Justify items, maybe? I will find you. I'm so glad it's Friday tomorrow. Why? The weekend? Have I tried align contents? I have. Weekend? I need to sleep. I can relate. Which flex? The thing now, this row, I need this row to be 100% so that I can style it the way I need to style it. Either that, or I have to make that row be 600. I have to do like width 600 pixels. Eesh. What did it do? Yeah, that works, but now align them. Align content. Why does align not work? Justify. Which one is it? Justify. There you go. Flex end. No, but individually. So space between, I think it is. Yeah, it's that one. Space between is the one I need. But I'm going to need it just for the top. So that's why I'm going to have to play around with that. Because the hours and minutes are now messed up. So it's not align content. It's justify content. Space between. We're going to need a width. And we're going to need to remove that padding. I think the padding is from flex column. The margin, sorry. There you go. Margin's gone. Now it's 600 pixels, so it's, I think my mock was like that. Yeah, my mock was like that. And we have to increase the width. The urge for snus will never disappear. Oh, shame. It will get better, I'm sure. How do we resolve this? Oh, the container. Their width needs to get smaller as well for each one. This is my responsive stuff happening now. So this isn't an issue. The only reason it's an issue is because of the responsive stuff. We gotta fix that later. I just gotta remember. So I think that's the solution. What did that affect though? It affected the hours. So how do we... Because it's in a flex container row. And I don't want to have two separate classes just so that one can do one thing and the other can do another thing. I have an idea. We're going to make a new class, but we're going to keep the flex the same. We're going to reuse it. So where is our flex? Was it a flex row or flex column? That was a flex row. That was a container row. Oh, so the container row needs to have width of 600 pixels. No, we're going to add another class. We're going to leave container row. We're going to add another class so that we don't mess with that. Flex container row day date. And all we add in there is the stuff that we need for it to work, which is align content center, no, justify content center with 600. And then in flex container row, it's just display flex. So that's the stuff that's going to get it to work. And then flex column. This thing reset now, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Why didn't these changes take... Oh, I didn't apply it. That's why. So flex container row date. What if I just do day date, like row day date? Flex row day date maybe is better. Then we got flex row day date. Because then we're going to apply it... Oh no, we need to apply it to its container though, that's why. So there's that. Then we still need to remove the padding from the column. I think that's all that needs to happen. Flex row. Was it row or column? I keep getting confused now. I think it's this one. No, it wasn't. It's flex column. Flex column, where are you? There's row. Column, there's column. Okay, there you go. So that's sorted. That's not the edges. Then the next thing that needs to happen is the width of these need to change to 250 pixels wide, day and date. Do we have selectors for day and date? Day, date, yeah we do. Perfect. 250 pixels it is. Great stuff. That looks good. Compared to our mock-up here, we're almost there. We need to get hours and minutes centered under day and date. So that means the entire width is going to have to be 600. How do we do that? Their container needs to be 600, and then they need to individually be... They need to be 250 basically. That's what they need to be. Their column needs to be 250 wide, centered in it. That's how we're going to solve that. So let's go ahead and do that. Right, hold on. So you guys over here, flex column. You guys need a new class, don't you? Let's just test. So what did I say? The width needs to be 250 pixels. Oh, but it seems to have changed the top a little bit somehow. I don't know how, that like tiny bit. Maybe that's because we're applying it. Oh, because it's also column, that's why. Okay, so now that you guys have that, you're both 250 pixels, but your row, you guys need a row. We could just use the same flex container row day date. Flex container row day date. You know what I'm thinking now? Do we use row anywhere else? I don't think we use row anywhere else. The lengths are columns. So we may be able to just get away with either creating a new class that adds the width and the justify contents, or since we're not reusing it, just stick it in there. Get rid of the extra class declaration. Since both of them inherit the same thing, get rid of that. Changes will still be the same. There you go, great stuff. And then all we need to do now is center these. So let's go and change that real quick. Flex column centered. I guess we can call it flex column centered. And we need to I think it's literally just justify content, space between, and then add this class to it. So for time spent, there and there. And now we need to just play around to figure out what's going to give us I think one of these is cancelling out. Do I have to do display inherit? No, I shouldn't have to. It's already a flex. That's not it. I need to get you guys centered. Where are you guys right now? That's your row. Give me a visualization, please. Let me see what I'm dealing with. Okay, so you're a single... There you are. Why? Oh, you space between in flex row. Ah, I need to somehow override you. Okay, I got a solution. They can't use row. They have to use another class called row centered. So flex column, flex row. Flex container row. Where's flex container row? There it is. So you guys need to use flex container row centered, where you use justify content center. The width still stays the same. Yeah, everything else stays the same. So I just need to swap this around. And then I might not need the other one, we'll have to see. Wait, it's not centered, is it? Poof, space around. I think you're right. Nope, not space around. It's one of them. Don't think it's justify content, it's align items now, isn't it? I always get confused with those. One day I'm gonna get the right ones. It's align items. Yeah, it's align items. Hold on. That's the column. I need the container, sorry. I think I had it wrong this whole time. You're right. Space around. Only problem is now text is a little bit off. Do you see that? Okay. Align items and justify content on container rows centered. So space around and align items. There we go, and brilliant. So that's our style. If it's column, it's align items. If it's and row is justify content. So column is align items and row is justify content. So when you use align content and justify items, align content and justify items. Oh, axes. Ah. I need to make myself a little like graph or something so I can refer to it. So let's compare that to our pencil. We got our day and our date, hours and minutes, yeah. Is that right? Day, date, yeah. Date, you look a bit off. Hold on. Time spent is fine. Hours and minutes is perfect. It's really cool that I actually somehow have the ability to do this. I can promise you guys, if I didn't do the FCC stuff, I would never be able to actually design something in CSS as I did it, like on a like prototype. This is crazy cool. We have an issue here though. Or is it just me? No, that is centered. Why did it look a little bit off? Like date wasn't centered. It is centered though. Yeah, it's definitely centered. Yeah, definitely centered. It's because 23 is relative centered? What do you mean by that? I don't think it's that. It's just the padding because of this. This is a flex over here. So you see this little section here is what's pushing it a bit more to that side. It's the same with the date. Date is supposed to be centered. So what I might do is left align the text and stuff. I'm like, considering minutes and hours work, it's like an interesting debate. Like most times you're supposed to left align a form. But if it's small enough, you can get away with it being centered because the flow is like bam, 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 bam. You know what I mean? So it's a tough one. We'll have to see afterwards what looks best, I guess. But let's continue with getting this to look as close to my original plan as possible. What am I missing now? The hours? Yeah, that is fine. What do you guys recommend for time spent? I mean, there's nothing really more you can do, can you? I had them underneath at one point, but it didn't look good. It's like you have these massive sections and then the small little section. Don't use label names as placeholders? You can. That's perfectly fine. You should never use placeholders in exchange for labels, because the moment a user types, it disappears then. The case is when people use placeholders as the label instead of no label. So I could remove all these labels away and you would have nothing. That is a bad practice. But you can have placeholders, they're not an issue. Placeholders should help guide the user as to what is expected inside of the input, which is what I've tried to do here. So day will say challenge day. I actually need to change that. I rewrote that in my mockup, and challenge day becomes the day you are currently on. It just seemed a bit better because challenge day, I don't know. The day you're currently on seemed better than, you 4 or 5. I don't want it to put in day 4, Even though I'm going to have that validated. And then that's standard. I don't think you could put a placeholder there. I don't like dots, by the way. No one said you have to like dots. I love dots. I need to. It's like proper English. It's grammar. If you're gonna start a sentence, it ends with the full stop, and that's that. The discussion ends there. I don't care about UX best practices. It's a sentence. If you're gonna explain something to someone in a sentence, it ends with the full stop. You don't go and butcher the English. God save the Queen and all that. We're not writing a language. It's not like a programming language. It's not JavaScript. It's English. In English, I'm specifying what the user needs to know. Labels are fine. That's a different story. You don't need to have full stops in labels like I've done here. But placeholders should definitely have. South Africa is a monarchy? I was referring to English. Though we do use British English here, so that would make sense, wouldn't it? This needs to change. Links to work. What did I say there? Oh, it's just links. Instead of links to work, what did we say? Should we have like work showcase or work reference? So it's clearer for the user. Where reference to work. That just sounds like now references to work might be better. References. Either that or work references. References to work or work references. I think work references will work a bit better here. In Sweden we have the king though? Really? You have a king? Links should work on something. You have a king, that's so cool. I wonder if the King of Sweden met the Queen of England. I'm sure they have. Links to work! Yeah, well now it's changed. There's no more link. There's work references. Add a title for your URL. Add a URL referring to your work. Wait, did I change these? I said add a title for the instead of your. I said for the to make it clear and not conflict. So add a title for the URL and add the URL. Add the, not add a. Add the URL referring to your work. So that add a title for the URL, add the URL referring to your work. There we go. Kung Carl Gustav. Do we have to like refer to him by the number of Carls before him? So he's the 16th Carl? Jesus. Can they not like pick a new name? King Carl 16 Gustav. Coral! Coral! Do you hear me, Coral? Is this log formatter for your personal use only? No. It is not for my personal use only. I am making it so that I can share it with the community. But obviously I don't want to share something that is a hot mess. We actually came far if you just joined us now, by the way, Andre. This was our original design. It's very simple. I just needed elements that I can test with to get, you know, the user work flowing, and then we switched to this design, which hopefully most people will agree is better than the original design. Oh, we still gotta do the boxes, by the way. Gotta do the boxes now. That's what's missing. Links to work, and we need to make sure the spacing is like the same and whatnot. But yeah, I'm sure community will appreciate it. Why the cuppa? Just tell me. What do you mean by that? If they don't appreciate it, that's fine. I'm gonna use it. Look how cool it is. The day you are on. Today's day 25. The date is the 25th. Progress. I worked on this here log formatter. Time spent. I don't know. However long the stream's gonna be. Probably like 4 hours. Like 34 minutes. Thoughts. Virani was very mean to me today. Also, Christophorus was quite quiet. Official Koof, on the other hand, was super helpful in solving one of the functions. A shout out has to definitely go to now I've forgotten his name. No, this is not okay. A shout out has to definitely go to Bread for their undying loyalty. What? Undenying? That's even better. Undying loyalty to the matriarchy. There we are. Work reference. I don't know. URL. This here URL. Add another link? No. Format. Boom. Look at that. Oh, we get the format. Guys. Let's go to GitHub quickly. Does it work? Let's find out. Edit. Almost deleted. Go to the end. Post it. Check the preview. Go to the end. It's in the right format. No ways. What? That's crazy. Gotta remember that little full stop, by the way. Link to work. I don't know. What if I click I don't know? Oh damn, we're back to the formatter. I'd say it works quite nice, huh? It's just more projects are unknown and get forgotten. Well, we're not going to forget about this one, are we? That's the one thing about me. I don't forget projects. Always come back to them. It would be cool if you implemented a start stopwatch. Why? Why a timer? And that would imply that the browser would have to like stay active the whole time. And I don't know, like most people would track their own time. I mean, to automate things. Yeah, well, if there's demand for it, then I'll do it. Andre, please reconsider the design. What about the design? What do you not like about the design? What is wrong with my design? Speak now! We're still busy with the design though. The links section is going to have its own thingy. Can I be honest? Go for it. And ignore the fact that the buttons are like hugging each other. That's not how it's going to be in the final version. Nor is the copy button or the output going to be that large. It's bad all the way. And Zadak agrees. That's good. What can you share with me, tips-wise? Like, what would you change? What would you have? I wanted something dark because I like dark colors. And this is my favorite color, by the way. 212121. And I couldn't figure out what's going to be the best approach. And these are all visible at least. So every field is visible. You can tell that they're inset. I haven't done anything. You got to remember that. It's still basic. There's no shadows added. There's no font changes added. There's no sizing or scaling added. So maybe it'll be better to give me your opinion once I'm actually done with it. Because I can agree. Like right now, this is not the final product. Not even close to it. It's a work in progress. There you go. Virani gets it. You guys have like joined me on like day 4, where most of the code has been done. We still need to refactor that, don't we? It's the fetus of the design. Exactly. Do you guys want to see something funny? Let me show you. Let me show you quickly. Then you can understand how I work. Where's my... Let me show you how I work so you guys get a better idea. So I did a little project, a project landing page, and you guys are gonna laugh, but that's fine. I want you to laugh. This was day 1, okay? Hold on, let me get them all out, then I can switch tabs. It'll be much easier. And this was the main, and that was day 1. And then this was day 2. Was it this one? And then the final product was that. Okay, so let's start. So I always build boxes with colors so that I know where every element is. It's easy for me to like know what I'm working with, right? So this was day 1 of the free CodeCamp project I was working on. I wanted to do a game development studio that does products and whatever. And I was happy with this. All the content's there, right? Then day 2 came and I needed to change the product section. Do you see the product section? It's kind of bland. You don't really see what's going on. Please ignore the colors. Like I said, I design boxes with colors and the colors are literally just there to visually show me the different elements. Then day 2 came and the product suddenly turned into this. A little bit better. Section boxes, we got a bit of border radiuses now, we got some text shadows. It's looking a little bit better. And then day 3 came and we added some imagery and we added some opacity. There's still a few things I probably would have changed, but you can see the progress, you know, between day 1, day 2 and day 3. And then the main landing page was something like this. You can see Angry Gamer Studios. The logo is better. Like in the beginning, I think I don't know what I did there. I added like some white outline to it. That was bad. So I was happy with it in the end. It was okay. And yeah, that was the journey in 3 days. So this is probably going to be the same thing. I showed you day 1. This is like day 2 and 3 because I didn't do any design changes. This is the first time we're actually touching the design now. So I'm pretty sure things are going to change. We might even end up having background images. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see what happens. And I'll obviously take your suggestions under advisement. So add background images. I'm gonna add so many, and they're gonna be of Shrek. So the output section is gonna have like a picture of Shrek most likely, and the thoughts probably maybe more Shrek, because you know Shrek is love. Shrek is life. Right, Virani? You want Smurfs. Okay, Zadak, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a customizable section where you can specify the background image you want. You just upload your own one. Right? Use the customizability for the win. Can we have a King Carl? That's why we need customizability. So you guys could just pick and choose. We'll have templates. Great idea. Thank you. You see? Winning with the community already. Okay, so what needs to happen next? Let's work on those borders for the boxes. I have no idea how we're going to do this, but we're going to do it. Let's first look at what they're currently in. I think they're in a div. I literally think we just target the div. They should be in a container. Yeah, they're in a column. Flex container column. So when I add another one, I think it's also flex container column. Yeah, it is. I think we should add a new style though. We shouldn't base it off of that. What do we call it? Maybe make the container wider? Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be wider. I have a full design thing here. So let me actually build it and then we can actually get there. So this one is going to be... What is it for under? The links for under flex container column, flex column.
Zadok is following the family.
Zadok, welcome to the family! The following is growing ever so steadily. I love you guys. And no worries, there's no interruptions. Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions with me. If it's something that I haven't thought of, then obviously it's going to be greatly appreciated. I'll let you know if it's something that's in the works or not. So flex column. We have flex column, we have flex column centered. I'm just going to like call it flex column lengths. We're going to have to refactor this at some point, but for now, let's not worry with that too much. You know what I think I'm going to do actually? I'm not even going to use flex column because we need to change the size. The overall size for the column is going to be 600 pixels wide. So width, 600 pixels. Display inherit, so we're going to take that over there. Thank you very much. We are also, we're not going to need these vendor prefixes right now. We can add them later. I think that's all right. Align item center and width 600. So we're just going to flip that around. Got to remember to change in our JavaScript. So the link title, Control D, Control D, Control V. I think that's all that needs to change. That's good. So if I check now, it should be as wide. Yes, it is. Perfect. Great stuff. Then we need to go to our JavaScript and we make sure that the container that we're giving it is flex column changes to... Is it only 2 of them? 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Flex column links. There we go. The JavaScript will dynamically add that class. Great. Now I wanted... Oh, I grouped this. Hold on. I need a background for it. That's what needs to happen. So the background is going to be 333 65 opacity. So let's go back to our little website that we had. Did I say 75? Sorry. 65. 65 opacity. That's 64. And we're going to get our RGBA code right there. And we're going to give the background to this. So background. Great, that should give me, there we go. So we got a little box, great stuff. We're still going to pad that, but it's coming along. Wow, the TTS person pronounced my username correctly, right? That's why I chose that one specifically. It's so much better at pronouncing things. Average viewers is growing as well, by the way. Nice. I love that your channel is growing, and I honestly couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys are amazing. You remember that color picker is built in? Yeah, I remember. The only issue with that, let me show you, is it doesn't show me the opacity level. So notice here. Oh wait, it does there. Sorry, it was for other one. I was using I can't remember what it was. I was using the color picker. It wasn't showing me the values. It was just showing me the colors. I don't... What was I using? It wasn't RGBA. I can't remember now. But anyway, yeah, that's working now. So that's cool. Now what needs to happen is... The boxes need to get bigger for title and URL. They need to be at least 40 wide. Apparently, according to UX Designs, the average person's thumb or whatever needs to have a nice little place to like stick it in there on mobile. So we're gonna go and like make everything nice and fat for the fat sausage fingers out there. Gotta love them. I think it looks nice. It's not about that, honestly. It looks nice. I'll show you guys. If I could just figure out what styles are applied to them. I think each one has its own style. Input link title and input link URL, and I think I have those grouped already somewhere. Input link title, input link URL, I do, but it's also input progress. Yeah, I mean that can also be 40. Everything's going to be at least 40. So height 40 pixels. I'm off for sleep, guys. Take care. Koof, sleep well. Good luck with the snus. And see you at some point in time. If it's hex, it will automatically transfer. Oh, that was the issue, Virani. It was in hex. I posted it in hex and it wasn't showing me the RGBA value. There is a RGBA, but it wasn't showing me. Let me show you quickly. So color, let's say 333, right? Come on. Show me. There you go. So here's the opacity. Wait, now it's showing. What the hell? It was not showing before. It wasn't showing. But it's cool that it is showing now. I don't know why it wasn't showing before. Okay, what did we change? Oh, we made them nice and fat now. Nice. 40, 40, that's a bit better. That looks nice. I think all of them are going to be 40, to be honest. So day and date can be 40. Progress, that doesn't matter. Hours and minutes can also be 40. There we go. Looking a bit better. Hey, it's amazing how a little bit of height fixes things. This needs to be centered, or some padding needs to happen. I don't know what's going on here. Is there padding at the top of the... Oh, it's a paragraph that's getting padding. We need to remove all padding from paragraphs. I want to manually assign that. So we're going to go and we're going to set a global rule here. And we're going to say paragraphs, you get no padding and you get no margins. Right? Sorry guys. You get no padding, you get no margins. We're going to specify that. What a mess. Sucks to be a P tag right now, right? We're gonna have to now specify all of the padding one by one, but that gives us more control of where everything's gonna sit and float, so it's not a big deal. What I think we could do is probably add it to the flex columns. I just want to check that's a column, that's a column, that's a row. I think combination of row and columns is where we're gonna do the padding. Might be better on the row. So for example, if I add padding bottom to this, we can probably add like a 30 pixel padding. Yeah. So 30 pixel padding to the bottom of flex container rows. So let's find flex container row. There you are. We add some padding. So that should space things out a bit better. Great stuff. Then what's going on here? Time spent. Are you not even in an element? You're not even in a... You're part of... Oh, you're outside. Poor guy. You're not even part of anything. You don't belong anywhere. Nor does progress. Interesting. That's not even part of a flex? Why aren't you part of a row? Let's slap a row on that poor guy. I think the reason for that is because... no idea. We're gonna give it a row. We're gonna give it a home, guys. Shame. Poor guy's been homeless all this time. Let's go and give him a home. There you go, progress. You get a home now. And we are gonna have to get a column going here for each one. Progress, you're gonna be part of a column as well. So you get like a double story home. And we're gonna wrap you in a column. There we go. So, hold on. Is that row? You should be fine. Oh, is it flex column? Did I not do flex column row? My bad. I meant to do row, not column. Forgot I named them as such. Whoops. Did I not change it though? Am I changing the right one? Oh, that's day. Whoops. Progress. Flex column. I'm confused now. What the hell? Hold on. Just give me a moment. Let me figure out what's going on here. Flex container row. Is it the container? Progress is in flex container row, is in a column. What did I do here now? Okay, I see what's happening. Progress, where are you? You're here, you're in a container. You... I think I only need one of them and change it to column. So if I change flex container row to flex container column, there we go. And I'm probably going to left align them like that. We'll have to see what's going to work better. And then flex container column is also going to need padding of 40 pixels, 30 pixels. Same as the others. So there we go. Boom, boom, 30 pixels. Just check that quickly. Cool. Row, box model, 30 pixels, great. Column, 30 pixels, great. What are you guys in now? Row centered. Let's go get some padding in row centered. You know what I realized? It's not padding. It's padding bottom. And padding bottom. I think somewhere I did padding, didn't I? One of them was padding. Yeah, it was this one. I need padding at the bottom. Padding bottom. Good, good, good. That's great. That looks good. What's happening here? You're not going to be part of a... Are you part of a... No, you're not part of anything. So you're gonna... Why do you have padding at the bottom? You have padding all around. You have 20 pixels padding. You are input thoughts. Get these thoughts out of my mind. So input thoughts is over here. Did I add padding to you? Yes, I did. Padding 20 all around. We need to change that to padding. Top and bottom is going to be 20. I can't do it that way now. So I'm going to have to do 20 at the top, 20 at the right, 30 at the bottom, 20 on the left. Can I refactor that? I don't think I can. This is top and right. This is bottom and left. Actually, hold on, I can. So top is... No, it's fine. Did you change your 30 padding? Oh, but that's... I think I see what's going on. Do you even change? What's going on? Padding. There you are. That's not changing anything. That's interesting. But none of this is working. What? Why is none of the CSS styles? That's strange. Yeah, so you work fine. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's what I was thinking. The padding only works for... Okay, I was thinking of something else. I'm gonna need margin here, aren't I? I think I need margin. Yeah, I need margin bottom 30 pixels. The rest can stay. The padding was inside for the text area. I get confused with the inputs. So this stays at 20, I think it was 20 all around before I changed it, right? Yeah, 20 all around. And this is going to have a margin bottom of 30. There we go. So we're staying consistent with that 30 pixel spacing. Then, how does my mockup look? Do I have spacing inside? So I want a bit from the top and the bottom. So flex container column. I think I'm gonna have to do it individually for each one, the lengths one. So we're gonna need padding. We're just gonna do top and bottom. So maybe internally like 20 pixels and 0. Is that a bit much now? I think it's a bit much. You can do 10. Yeah, 10 seems perfect. So 10 padding for top and bottom, 2 flex column lengths. So that's at the top, flex column lengths, padding 10 pixels, perfect. Those p tags are lost. Poor p tags. Might I suggest a font, Railway or Quicksand? Yeah, I'll check it out. I haven't done anything with the fonts yet. That's gonna come near the end probably. I just want to get the spacing and the layout and everything good first. Work reference, thoughts. I might add... I think all the p tags might... I don't think we want them hovering on the elements, do we? So let's give them a little bit of leeway. Maybe just 5 pixels of padding. So you know what, guys? I'll give you... padding bottom 5 pixels. Or you know what? Since we defined it already and we don't want to duplicate ourselves, it's going to be 0 for the top, 0 for the right, 5 for the bottom, and 0 for the left. So we reset it and we only give ourselves 5. That's a little bit better. Now it's not hovering. Or maybe 10 pixels. I just don't want it to be too much and then it's flying away from the content. Okay, not 105. 10 pixels. Is that even doing anything? I'm not even seeing any changes. Are you getting overridden by what? Why? Invalid property. Oh, I got the freaking... Okay. You don't need commas. Are we good? There you go. I wanted at 5. 5 was fine. I was doing nothing initially. There we go. No commas for that. Yeah. H3 progress, yeah! We're putting things up. I got a bit confused with, I think I was looking at like elements or something. I don't know why I put commas there. Probably just properties, I'm so used to it. Look at what I wrote regarding the font. I did respond to it, or is there something else that I missed? Okay, so now that we got that, we got the spacing there, that looks good. It looks pretty much like my mock-up, like check my mock-up and then you'll see. Do you guys see my mock-up? So like for titles, it looks pretty much like that. We just need to do the button now. So there's that versus that. Pretty much there. No, it was about the commas. Oh, the commas, yeah, I responded to that as well. Sorry. Now what's going on here? Because there mustn't be that much spacing. I want... Oh, I have a hidden column here. That's gonna be a problem. Especially with that. How many of them are using flex container column? Oh, that one as well. Welcome to my section now. So we're gonna have to give it a new class. Just specifically because of that link, because I don't want to give it negative padding and then push it up, because that can have undesirable consequences on other browsers. So I'm rather just going to give it a new class and deal with it that way. It's going to be easier. So our links, flex container column. We're just going to call it column padding. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. And we're going to go to this reference here and we are going to remove that padding completely. Column padding. We're just going to do padding bottom. Well, it depends on how much padding we want now. Because now that I've removed it, we just got to balance it. Yeah, and we also need to keep in mind that there's that hidden one. And that's going to have padding as well. It's got padding of 10. Oh, I just realized something. We didn't even need to add any class, did we? The spacing of that is 10. And the spacing between each one afterwards is 30, isn't it? So we got a 30 pixel padding. So that actually kind of works for us, doesn't it? Oh, and the padding was just internal anyway, with that hidden one pushing out there. What's the size of that? The height is 16. That's 16 pixels. So 16 plus 10 is like 26. It just needs like 4 more almost. So we could just add like padding of 4, to be honest. 4 pixel padding, and there you go, 30. Boom. So now if we check here, we got padding of 10 plus the 16. Wait, hold on. What was that? Thinking of something else now? Where's that section? So there's that piece, right? Plus that. Oh, so it's 36. It's 36, so we need to take 6 off, huh? So wait, even if I had this removed, are you telling me then it will be 32? No, you're still 36. Because that's the minimum section. So let's get the box layout here. And let's see what's going on. Final size, right. And for your entire parent, there's that. Because of the content that's inside of it. You know what? That's fine. We don't have to worry about that. So I'm just going to leave it like that. If it becomes an issue at some point in time, then we can deal with it. But it's a non-issue right now. So that's good. The spacing is good. I want to add, let me just check my mockup quick. There needs to be 30 spacing after add another link. That's easy enough. We have the button. It is button add link. We're just going to add padding bottom, 30 pixels. Sorry, not padding. You need to use margin with these. Margin bottom, 30 pixels. There we go. There's a 6 between there, isn't there? I just want to make sure. I'm going to give you 6 just to balance that off. There we go. Perfect. Add another link. And then we need to remember to add padding at the bottom because we don't for that one. That's the important part. That's where we're going to have column added to those ones. Okay, so let me bring column back now. So let's go back to column padding, and we're going to add padding bottom 30 pixels, and we are going to dynamically attach that through JavaScript to our container, and our container is flex container column. I think we only call it once in this entire thing, right? Cool, so we're going to attach it there. So now, that issue that we had, you see, now we got the padding nice again. Perfect. And then we got padding between, that looks good. Now we just need to do the buttons. The buttons are the next part. We want them in the corner, and right now, I think that's going to be a tough one now, actually, now that I think about it. That's not something I thought, that's something I just designed, you know? So we're gonna have to add a class to this. Let's give it a class of test. It's not updating for test, is it? Not a problem. Position absolute. Oh, absolute of the parent now. Relative to the box. This is not going to push it. I'm going to need absolute. Because fixed is going to... Where did you go? You go off. There you are. Static. I don't want to give the container an absolute... It's like I'm going to have to put a container in a container. Your container? The problem is it's a flex container, hey? So if I do that, we're no longer going to get the flex. Unless I wrap it in a container, the button in a container. And then the button. You know what I mean? Because the button needs to go over there. If you add position relative, does not conflict with flex? Really? Does it not? Really? Okay. Let's check it out. Let's add it to our... Why is this thing not updating now? Come on! Do I reload the page every time? No element selected? What do you mean no element selected? I am selecting elements. It broke! No! It broke! Why did it break? Reload. Hard reload. No CSS properties found. Why? What has happened? Why is this happening to me? Something broken here? Oh, here you go. Oh, never mind. This is something else. This is completely different. That's weird. It shouldn't have broken. But anyway, let's test it. You say that it shouldn't clash. So let's go and try that. The container is... flex container column. So let's find flex container column up here. And position absolute. You see, it does clash. Because now they've gone off the page. Might be the wrong container. Oh, you mean it should be the one that contains the button directly? So the flex column links? Okay, let's try that. So flex column links is the one that contains the button. So I'll add position absolute to it. No, it's still the same issue. Can I send a link? Yeah, you can send a link to me. Add position relative to the flex column. To the flex column. Position relative. Right. Okay, there you go. It's fine now. But I can't style anymore. It's not showing me the CSS. Did I like push something or something? Because it's not computing anything anymore. Filter styles. Don't filter. Why is it not computing anything anymore? I think it just gave up. It's like... I'm gonna close my browser and reopen it. Let's try that now. Will it let me style now? Okay, it's fine now. Don't know what happened. Okay, so you're saying now I should be able to move it? I added position relative. Doesn't seem to... Do I do position in the button? Position absolute? Oh, something's happening now. That's almost like I wanted it earlier. You know what's so funny? In one of my mockups that I was gonna do, I was gonna have the button be literally like that, on the line. That's so funny. That's exactly how I wanted it. Oh, that's so funny. So if push comes to shove and we completely fail at this, we could just leave it like that. So right, 30 pixels. Hey, it's working! Is this safe though? I've always worried about this. Like, is this safe? Like, how safe is this to do? Because, like, I'm worried, what if browsers render this in another way? Now we just gotta, like, play around to get it in the right position. So we won't use right, we'll use left. Not left. Ah, it's gonna have to be right. But I don't want to use negatives. That's fine. Let's just do right 0. There. Right 0. Bottom 1. There. 160 and 0. Use top, not bottom, else it'll push it up from the top. Use top, not bottom. Okay. Whoops. Okay, but that's the problem. How can I use top? I'm gonna have to use negatives now, and I don't want to use negatives. That is 0. If I give top anymore, it's gonna push it down. You saw what happened, right? Doing top 20, right 20 is not gonna do what you think it's gonna do. Look. Top 20, right 20. Puts it out. I don't think you get the positions. Right has to be 0. That's what the button is. And that's its column that it's in. Do you see that? That's its column. That's the button. There's its column. It's in there. It's not in there, it's not in there. It's in there. If you wanted it to be, it would have to be in that entire one. That one. How do we get it in that one? Think position relative is on the wrong item. Then where do you want me to add position relative to? Not the button. Wait, position absolute is on the button, right? Let me just get that right. Is position absolute on the button? Yes or no? Position absolute on the button. Yes, good. Okay. Then you want me to do position relative. Right now, position relative is on the column. I removed it off the column. It went to the top right now. So you want me to add it to the entire container, which I did earlier. It didn't work. We'll try it now. Position relative. Oh, it works now. I don't know why it didn't work earlier. We tried earlier, it didn't work. So we need to add position relative to flex container column. I swear we did this. Maybe we didn't. Whoops. So what's the downside to using position relative? Because what about different browsers? What if they like render it differently? We need position absolute. Was it bottom that I had? No, it was top. What did I have for top? Oh, it was fine earlier. What did I do wrong now? We want absolute on the button, right? Top 20 pixels. There, it's 20 now, but it's underneath now. It was fine earlier. What happened? There's position relative. From the button container. Oh, is it stored in the button container? Right, there's the problem. Cool. Gotta remember to do that next time. Okay, now we can work with this. So top 20, right, probably like 20 pixels as well. So we can now play with this till we get it where we want it to be. I think right 0 is actually right 0. Why can't we just do... Oh, okay, I don't want 0 there. 10 pixels. Maybe a little bit more, 15 pixels. Because we can't get more to the right, can we? So 15, 0. 15, 0 absolute to the button. Right? Perfect. That's amazing. Thank you, Zadak. That's really cool. I really appreciate your help. I think I would have struggled, honestly. I don't think I would have gotten that. You're amazing, man. Thank you. Just love it. I got my usual like scripting guys, and now you and H3H3 my go-to CSS guys. I've just always been afraid of these positionings, because what if a browser renders it differently and just now your button ends up being somewhere else? You know what I mean? And I gotta remember to remove it from the column as well. There was this one, I think. Yeah. There we go. I've not seen a browser that does not support this. It does not, really. You can use negative 10 pixels. That's what I'm worried about, like the negative ones. I like that though. Do you not? Like the padding seems good, right? Oh, how beautiful is that? And then the user knows that that's the close button. We still need to make this bigger, by the way, so let's first make it bigger. I think it's a bit too small now. Let's make it look good. Button remove. I don't think we use remove section anymore. Do we? Do we have remove? Do we have section? No, we don't. So I removed that. We don't use it. So that should be button remove then. Button remove. I just, keep consistent with our naming scheme. So where did we name it? I don't think we did here because it's dynamic. It only gets added in our JavaScript. So somewhere here, there. It wasn't a button before, that's why I didn't name it. It is a button now, it's a real button. So button remove. If it contains the class, good. That should be all. I'll make sure I don't have button anywhere else. No, I don't. Cool. That would be in your JavaScript. Yeah. That's exactly where it was. So now we have button remove. Now we can move the button remove to the button section, so they can all be happy together. Button add link. I'm going to do it after add because it's add and remove. Now I think I should say button remove link. Either change button add link to button add, but I think it makes sense what it is. So I'm rather going to change it to link, button remove link, because then you know what it's doing. Button remove link, button remove link. There we go. Make sure everything's still working. Check our console, no errors. Great stuff, working nicely. Now let's make it bigger. Button remove link. I think it's just font size, to be honest. And that belongs with this thing over here. So we just change the font of this. Also the color of this needs to match the color of our primary color. So let me change that real quick. Oopsie. And font size, because it's a font. Let's try 20 pixels for now. Why am I not getting the... Oh. Button remove link. There we go. And I want to add like a mouse over effect and stuff. I think you need one more CSS. You're like on point, Zadak. Like, wow. Not missing a thing from you. These buttons also need thingies. We can actually group them all. Button format. Button remove. Button copy. And was there another? Copy? No, there wasn't. Format, that's all. So now we just combine them all. Hold on. Button format. Hover. Button remove link. Hover. Button copy. You can add the cursor pointer to items without adding the hover pseudo? Really? How do you do that? That's working. That's working. Why isn't add another link working? Format, remove, copy. Oh, we don't have one for that. We never did. Oh, add link. There you are. Yes. Yes, you can. Just add it under the button remove link instead of button remove link hover. Really? Nope. Oh. Right. Okay, but it's fine. We can keep it there because I'm going to do other things when you mouse over as well. What do we want to do? Like make it lighter. Just wanted to mention it. Yeah, you're actually right. Unless we didn't want it, in which case we do want it. Thanks for mentioning that. The issue now is there's border none. There's border none. Border, okay, they all have border none. Just want to make sure. Nice. I didn't know about that. That's really cool. But we do want to on hover. So let's start with our remove link. Because the background is going to change. Oh, hold on. That's not the thing that we need to hover over. It's this thing now. It's a bit confusing because it's font awesome, so I gotta remember that. It's not a background that changes, it's literally a font that changes. And then we're gonna use our secondary color. Secondary light, dark. I think we can use our secondary dark. Wait, no, secondary. Sorry, not our dark, we're using our dark. And let's see how that looks. That works nice. That's cool. It's like, you can see it. At least on PC. Then what I want to do is do the same for these. Add another links. Those are using the primary. So I'm gonna use primary light on those buttons. So for button copy, was that copy? What was that? That was add another link. So button add link. Hover, we're gonna change the background this time because this is an actual button to that. Maybe add transition color. Hey, that's cool. All the fancy stuff now, huh? Oh, that is not what I had in mind. I forgot that's a background of this. We could just make it lighter. What's lighter from this? Is that light enough? I don't think it's light enough. That is. That works, huh? Add transition color 0.2 seconds ease in out. Right. Transition color 0.2 seconds ease in out. You don't like to use a constant? Oh, that's nice. It's the small things, right? Because there it's just like instant. Which doesn't look bad, but it's amazing how it's just the small things that get you, right? So we could do that for all of them, right? Why doesn't it seem to work on this one? On the add link one? Oh, because we didn't change the color. Is there a transition background? Is that invalid? Oh, it is. No? That's not lightening it. You might just as well add opacity. You need to add it to none hover. Sorry, I'm missing. I don't get what you mean. I'm lost now with your two things you said. Let's do the opacity thing first. What opacity do I add? Like just literally say opacity. Do like what, 0.8, 0.7? Try 0.7 first. Only problem with opacity, it makes the text hard to read because it affects the text too. Do you see what's happening? Don't add transitions under pseudo hover. Then where do I add the transition? Should I add it to the body so that everything transitions where there's color? Okay, just to button. I got you now. Button add link, and we add it to all the buttons. Button format, button copy. Don't remove it from remove. What did I remove? Did I remove something now? Oh, I did. Sorry, my bad. There we go. So what do we do here? Do you see the opacity issue? It's making the text harder to read. You can use background just as before. Oh wait, is there actual background opacity? No, there isn't. So how am I going to use background? You mean a combination? Like, what do I use? Use the background color as before. I'm confused now. First you say use opacity, then don't use opacity. What is it? What do I need to put in here? I have nothing now. Let's start from nothing. Add the background color. Okay. Was it 3-1? Right. Okay. Done. Now, how do we get that transition? Do I need transition background? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Why does it change to red? Does that mean it's invalid? Seems to work. Use background color instead of background. Oh, is that probably why it's red? Now it's doing nothing. Also on the property. Nice, huh? That looks cool. And then for the format one, we can use our lighter one that we already have, which I think is going to look really good with it. This one. Where are we? Button, add link. No, it's button format. You say background color now. Why do we use background color instead? I was told that you can use background, it's fine. Makes more sense, yeah. Ooh, that's a bit... I don't like that too much now. It worked fine there. I think it's because of the shadow. Let's see if we add that shadow. We need box shadows, by the way. I'm gonna add a box shadow now. Play around with this. I love box shadow. I've done no shadows. We need it. Ooh, look how nice it looks. But that hover is still an issue. Also at the top of CSS under button. Okay, but why? Because then I'm going to have to change background everywhere. I use background always now because I was told that I can use background instead of background color. I used to use background color. Then someone said it's pointless, just use background because it's shorthand. Why would I use background color? Because I would have to change it everywhere. I use background everywhere. I do not anywhere use background color. Background will supersede all previous background color, background image, etc. specifications. It's basically a shorthand, but a reset as well. Use background when images and background colors. Yeah. Now I would specifically then use obviously background color and background image, etc. I just want to keep standard. Since I'm not using any of that, can I just change them all to background? Well, we can change all background to background color. And there. Now every occurrence of background is background color. Right to the body. Done. Problem solved. Shouldn't have changed anything. So we need to fix this. I don't like that. Format button. Where's format? Format, where are you? So we're going to take that initial color that we like. Are we just going to make it a slight bit lighter? Do we change the opacity? Does it say 0.7 maybe? Oh, that makes it darker. Oh, that's not the... That's not what I thought. Do I have to just go up then instead? Wait, let's get what it is in that format. Set this to 1. Then what affects the brightness here? $200? Now I feel bad. Change it back to background for background color since it supersedes it. Ooh, no. Bring you a little bit down. It's not as bad. That's a bit better. Okay, change background color to background. Got you. Done. Now what about the transition? Why is it red? I mean, it still works, but why is it red? That bothers me. I've never seen red before. It's correct? Why is it red? And when I change it to background color, it's weird, huh? Why no SAS? Hey OFX! SAS, I haven't learned SAS yet. That's probably why. This gets brighter where this gets duller. Do you see that? So what's the correct way to handle this? All you did was change it from 2.1 to 3.1. You went like one shade like higher or whatever. So how can we do the same? If we've got 9A0, that's like my custom color. How can we get the same effect? I want to take that color and get the same effect from that to this. This one gets lighter, this one gets duller. For color effects, yeah, I just need this now. Copy output needs the same treatment, by the way. Add link is the same, so I'm going to do add link hover and button copy. Well, you know what, maybe one day we want to separate them, so let's rather just... Don't want them separate, shame. There we go, that works. But we're missing the thing that we need for it. It obviously doesn't have the background ease. It does. Transition background. There we go. This needs to be a bit away from it. What container are you? It is output. Output needs a padding of 30. So margin bottom 30 pixels. Maybe it can be less. It doesn't have to be that much. Make it like 10 pixels. What was I doing now? Like my CSS is not updating. In the browser at least. I don't see the 10. Oh, that's not where I added it. That's why. I just want to see something. Okay, that's not changing. Okay, cool. I would recommend you use ColorPick eyedropper for Chrome. It uses Firefox. Yeah. I'm glad you picked that up. It's like, use this for another browser. You just enter the original color. Oh, you gave me a link. Sorry. I didn't notice that now. I only saw that now. Let's check your link out. So let's enter the original color that we have, which is this. Nope. Yeah, that one. Go. Ooh, this is a interesting thing. The base color, do I stick it in there? Interesting. So like maybe that one? How do we get that one? What the hell is this design? Preview? Just click them. Oh, so there's no like prompt or anything, you just get the color. No. No, that's not working. Clicking does nothing. Maybe it does not work in Firefox. Ah, that would be funny. This entire tool and it doesn't work. I can mouse over them. B91, B91, B9131B. B9131B. There. 2 helped at least. Oh, that's like very slight. And I made it darker than our original color. What the hell? How's that possible? Did you change the correct one? Oh, I didn't. That's why. Smart man. That would explain it. I messed up something in the code. Button format hover. Why is it not changing? What the? Ah. Sorry. Hold on. Get the color again, yeah. B9131B. B9131B. That should be the right one. Wait, why? What's wrong with it? Oh, we're missing a... There we go. There we go. That's better. Nice. Cool. Good stuff. Should we do the same for the... That looks fine, huh? It's just this one seems to get brighter, this one seems to get duller, you know what I mean? Should we stick the 21, 21, 21 in it and see what it recommends? Oh, we don't really get much options, do we? It just gets really dark. There's no real blending going on here. It's monochromatic though. Adjacent, triad. Where's the original color? Is that mine? 21? Where's 21? That's 21. Tetrad. That's my original one. That's darker. So if I had the buttons that color, then I could have used that. I think it's just the color that we have doesn't really work. Or they just really suck at giving that to us, huh? But I think that's good for now. What happened here? Was this always like this? The spacing from format? We need to add padding top to output, margin rather. So output, since it's top and bottom, no, we're gonna need more at the top. So margin top, 30 pixels, standard, there we go, format. Boom. So one thing that I was thinking is hide the output, and then when the user clicks format, I show them the output box. But I'm thinking maybe something can go wrong in that process. I don't know. But I don't really like the box like this. Oh, the box has to change, by the way. I just realized now. It needs to be 212121 70% opacity. I changed the I made it a bit darker. Where'd my other thing go now? I had a regex. I love this site, by the way. I give it the hex, and then I say the amount of opacity that I need, and it gives me the RGBA. So much better. So output needs to change, and it needs to become this. That's better. So it's a bit darker, so you don't confuse it with thoughts. It's easy to hide and show it. Yeah, I know it is. Is that it? You have to go? Have a long day tomorrow. It's 11 p.m. Yeah, it is 11 here as well. Jeez. How time flies. I should probably also end things off now as well. I'll probably do like a minor thing here or there, but I'm really happy with the outcome so far. It's come a long way, definitely. I'm probably going to align all of these to the left instead of centering them. I don't know about hours and minutes. Since they're so short, I think it will be weird having them on the left, but we'll see. Thank you so much for all of your help. Honestly, you really helped me so much, especially with these buttons here and like adding the tiny little effects. It looks way better now. Thank you so much for that. And I hope that you sleep well, and good luck with your long day tomorrow. No, you definitely would. You're teaching me a lot of things. A lot of things to keep in mind. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you around again sometime. I actually need a test to see what the longest string that I've ever used is. I don't think people are going to have it as long as me, because I kind of want to have the box show. I think that's the longest. Jeez, look how long that string. Oh, it gets even longer. Oh, even longer. Gonna use myself as a reference. Yeah, I think that's the longest it's ever been. So can I fit this? I don't think I can. So how much can we like squeeze out of this box? 400? 500? How big is this box? Box is 600. So if it's 500, might as well make it as big as possible. Why limited? 400. 500 is good. I'm not going to fit everything in, but I can make the font size smaller. We'll have to see. That's what she said. You're going to stream tomorrow as well? Yeah, definitely. I stream every day, since the challenge is 100 days of code every day for at least an hour. Use width 100%. Okay, width 100%. That way it's responsive. I've had an issue with that with Flexbox. I'm gonna have to play around with that. Width 100%, you say? Oh, and max width to correct what just happened now. It doesn't get smaller, do you see what I mean? Because of the Flexbox or something. Also, don't worry about the background getting smaller and smaller. That's my responsive stuff. I need to change all the elements to get smaller. So yeah, it's not getting smaller. It's probably because of the flex, maybe the absolute positioning, who knows. That's a problem for tomorrow. It's because of your box sizing. What do you mean by that? When you say box sizing, do you mean like the display, that it's flex, or? Look up box sizing border box. Okay. I've seen that in the browser. Oh. To allow for any border or padding that you may have, that may be added. So I need border box. Yeah, that's what I need. Oh wow, so that's always what's happened to me. Is it content box by default? So I just need to say box sizing to my thing, to my container. Is it as simple as that? Let's see. Box. I do have a CSS reset. It's normalize. Normalizer. This one. It's all set to content box by default. Do you see this? Oh, that's for HR. So am I just gonna have to add content box to multiple places? Sorry, box sizing. Was it box sizing? I'm confused now. Yeah, it is box sizing, right? So I might have to add it to multiple places, you say. Is there a downside to doing that? Not really, right? That would explain why my things go off the page sometimes. It's still not getting smaller though. But that's probably because I need it in my main. In my container. In my main. It shouldn't matter, but I'm just sticking it there. In my user input. In my row. My column already has it. The row centered. That should be it. It doesn't shrink it like I'd want it to. I'm pretty sure that's because of the display flex. If I don't have flex, like if I take flex off, it still does that. Interesting. Don't think it's wrap that's the issue, is it? No, it's not wrap. Who knows? It'll be a thing that we'll solve another time, I'm sure. Small steps. We made it look pretty today. And boy does it look pretty. And we've still got to do user error handling and all that. And I still want to center this, but I'm going to have to probably use a jQuery thing. Is there an easy way that we can... just take align items center off of flex column. And then it's solved. Align items center. And then everything's to the left like we wanted it to. Work references. The only reason you're centered is because you're not even in a thing. Why are you centered? Why are you centered? There's like nothing defining it. Do I have text align center on my body? That's probably it. Nope, I don't. What? How are you centered? What magic is this? Okay, I know what it is. The user input align item center. Oh, but I need it. That's the issue. We need to align all our boxes. Okay, so this is gonna have to be in a wrapper. That's all. With thoughts. But we'll do that tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's me for tonight. Thank you to everyone that came through and everyone's support. Sadak, thank you so much once again for all the CSS support. I really appreciate it. I learned quite a few new things. And to everyone else, the regulars, you know who you are, supporting me with the JavaScript earlier. I really appreciate that. We managed to finally resolve the issue that we had for displaying the multiple links. That stuff is awesome. And check your CSS quick before I go. Right. Let me check that up before I go. And then yeah, otherwise I'll be back tomorrow. And we'll finish this up, add some user checks and whatnot. Oh wow, that's nice and neat. I like that. That's pretty cool. And you have a center one, so you could just call center on something. That's cool. You got container and you got container flex. That's really nice. Interesting that you call it flex and not flex column, because you can have row and column obviously. Remove the Chrome outline. Yeah, that's annoying. That's really nice. Wow. Everyone uses Hero. Thanks, man. I appreciate this. Just like check it out sometime. I still want to make things responsive, and I'm gonna have to take that into account using, I don't know if I'm gonna use viewports for view width and view height and all that. Okay. Is that the one that you're using now for your CSS is all on that? Oh nice, another Swede! Are you Swedish? Sebastian. Very nicely done. I like that. Nice and simple. You got everything you need. About you and your projects. That's cool. My one was like weird when I had my portfolio. I think this is my one. The latest one. So I got some typing happening. And it like fades out. So I like that effect. I had like no content, so it looks awful. I like rushed to get this done. And like added my projects with the little shaky effect. I love that. Oh, I don't know why I like that so much, it just entertains me. So it's very basic. I have like nothing there. But at least it's fully responsive, like it scales 100% to your width. And what I really liked is that the project section is responsive, like depending on your scale. So it still remains nice and large. And even to the smallest point, it still looks good. And that was an issue that I changed with the text. So that was the viewport scaling. Oh, it changes to English? Oh, that's cool. Hey, it's English! Nice. Very nicely done, Sebastian. Danish, right. The Danish, not Swedish. I got confused with the similar one. This is cool. A little bit slow, so I didn't even notice it was changing. Nicely done, cool. Well, I'm going to be off. Thank you for sharing this with me, I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the help. And a big shout out to everyone that came through. So many new faces that came through, new followers. That was really awesome. I love the support as always. And I hope you guys had fun building and yeah, styling our little project. I think it's come along really nice compared to where it was even just today. It's going to need some more work. Few things here and there, but other than that, it's coming along really nicely. I'm really happy with it. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And Zadak, yeah, if you're ever around, I'll really appreciate it. It's really great to have people share their feedback and whatnot. Alright, well, I'm off for now, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye for now.